up, guys? It's Wolverine, Death Machine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and you're watching True Hill Heat. Who better? Nobody.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live back on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Not live, but we are back with a pre-recorded review for NJPW Wrestle Kingdom 17 in Yokohama Arena. It is night 2. Just what? 18 days later of Wrestle Kingdom 17, the second edition of Wrestle Kingdom that features NJPW going at it with Pro Wrestling NOAH. Of course, we're talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling, so you know I had to bring the good brother, the master of ceremonies for the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. It's your boy, J-News.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your good brother J-News. We'll be back at it again. Folks, it's been one of those long roads. It was a long road. 18 days later, we get one event. Then the next day or 2 days later, we get another event. You know, strange New Japan scheduling. But, we're here to cover it. And, SP3. We got to talk about some happenings. Some fights that broke out. I have never seen what I have seen in the last couple of days in New Japan, interestingly enough, which is a good thing. So we'll talk about it. We'll chop it.
We are here to discuss all of that, and we want to hear from all of you. I had comments on AEW reviews about people talking about this show, so that's why it was originally, this was supposed to be just for our Patreon backers, this review, but I had to put it on the main channel because people want to talk about it. So sound off if you're watching the premiere in the live chat, or sound off in the comment section below and let us know what you thought of NJPW versus Pro Wrestling NOAH Wrestle Kingdom 17 in Yokohama. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the angle to end all angles, one of the hottest angles New Japan has put together in quite some time. We're going to discuss all of that, but first we got to discuss the show in order. So we're going to start from the top and talk about the pre-show for Wrestle Kingdom 17. And of course, like always, drop the thumbs up on the video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. But let's get into it. It was New Japan Pro Wrestling versus Pro Wrestling NOAH Wrestle Kingdom 17 in Yokohama Arena. As always, we like to give you the stats and everything. So the attendance was 5,533, and this was actually a crowd that was able to be vocalized. So what did you kind of think about the crowd overall for the show, J-News?
I think the crowd was lively, man. They were into it. You know, it was a good sense of, if they did have, let's say, a bigger venue, that it could be one of those classic New Japan shows with the roaring crowd throughout the event. So I think that if all goes well for Keiji Muto's retirement event in a couple of weeks' time, this is going to be it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one.
I'm ready for Kenji Muta's grand final. Please believe I don't know if I got to talk to the fellas about doing a watch along, but for sure, me and J-News we'll be live for our reviews of the New Beginning in Sapporo the Monday after that weekend, January 4th and 5th. We'll be live on Monday on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, so we can talk live with all of you about those two shows, and then we'll be live as well the following Monday after New Beginning in Osaka. But after that, the next, dude, we got 3 lives in February. No, we got 4 lives because we got Battle in the Valley too. What? New Japan keeping us busy in February, bro.
Right, we got Battle in the Valley, and then I got to cover freaking Fantastic Mania.
Yeah,
that month.
But that's in February too.
I believe
No, I
towards the tail of
believe
the
it's
month.
in March. I think it's the beginning of March.
They might
I thought
have
it was.
moved it.
Yeah,
Hold
I
on.
think they moved
Yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah. They moved it. They moved it. Yeah, you're right. They moved it.
They
So yeah,
moved it to the beginning of March because I was like,
they keep
damn,
they keeping us
that's
busy.
February is looking like the month of New Japan, and Parisio, Japanese professional wrestling is on the rise after this lineup for Kenji Mura's grand final, which we will talk about after we finish up with this review here. But let's get into the pre-show, which had the young lions of both NJPW and Pro Wrestling Noah going at it in tag team action. Your boy Rohi, you know how to say the name better than me.
Ryohei Oiwa.
Oh, yeah. And Kosei
Fujita.
Fujita. I know Kosei Fujita because he's a member of TMDK.
DK,
they went at it with Taishi Ozawa and Yosataka Yano. And Yano, I like this kid. This kid was fiery. He was getting in the face of Vegeta throughout this one. This was very hard hitting and a little bit more hard hitting than I expect from the young lions. Kind of showing the kind of fighting for supremacy of who has the better young lions out of these two promotions. And in the end, it is the young lion who is seeming to put himself at the head of the pack, Vegeta, who pulled out the win here with the good old-fashioned young lion special itself, the Boston Crab. This one went 12 minutes 12 seconds. What did you think about the opening contest here, and what did you think about, more importantly, the Pro Wrestling Noah young lions? Like I said, I was very impressed by Yano. I saw him also on the Bye Bye Muda, which for our Patreon backers, I'm probably going to do a review of that show as well. But I was impressed by him there, impressed by him on this show. What did you think?
Nah, man, I thought that to your point about them being, or this match being a little bit more hard hitting than usual. I feel like throughout the event, this is where it started. Like, everyone took this personally for whatever reason that was going on that night. Everybody wanted to kick each other's ass and prove that they were the better promotion. No matter what the booking was, it didn't even matter who was booked to lose. It's like it didn't matter. And they were gonna, take it to the max, to quote a particular song that was used for a New Japan event in recent years. But yeah, man, no, I think the Noah Young Lions, like those dudes, I didn't expect much because I don't get to watch them, right? So I was like, all right, Young Lions, it is what it is. And they took it. They took it to freaking Oiwa and Fujita son. And I was there like, wait a minute, are they fitting to lose this match? They can't lose this match. Talk about this is the Young Lion system that everybody knows, you know what I'm saying? So, and for that match to be what it was, I was like, and they gave him 12 minutes instead of the usual 8 to 10. And I was like, oh, we're going over time now. I was like, okay, getting a little breathing room. So I thought that was cool to see as well. So, I mean, Fujita's the head marksman now of the Young Lions in New Japan. So obviously he gets to win here with the Boston Crab, and he's the only one who's actually a part of a designated faction. So it just made sense for him to get the win here. But good match overall, good showing for all the young lions on both sides overall. So we'll see if this actually develops into a long-term 10-year storyline between everybody here.
Why not, right? Why not? We need the next Brawl and the next NJPW Noah back and forth. But yeah, I gave this opener 3 stars. Young Lions kind of showing out here on the pre-show. Next up, we had some more tag team action with some Young Lions plus some established talent, as it was Tomohiro Ishii teaming up with one of your other favorites, Oscar Lebu, and they Lube. See, I always mess that up. Lube versus the Pro Wrestling Noah guys of Diaki Inaba and Masa Kitamiya. Kitamiya and Tomohiro Ishii, they went at it. Those were 2 big boys trying to beat the crap out of each other. And but in the end, of course, they had to focus on the Young Lions. in and isolate him. And Kiyomiya got the win with a very unique submission, basically using his legs to overpower the young man, the young lion, to give Noah the win. 10 minutes, 28 seconds. I gave this one 2.5 stars. But after the match, kind of the follow-up to this was Ishii just doing Ishii stuff by attacking both Pro Wrestling Noah guys and getting into a 2-on-1 brawl that went into the backstage area to end off the pre-show. So what did you think, and do you all, besides the match, do you think we're going to get a Kiyomiya versus Ishii match between Pro Wrestling Noah and New Japan maybe sometime this year?
Sometime down the road, I think we'll get that one-on-one between those two guys, because it seems like they fit the bill for one another in styles, right?
Yeah.
But when it came down to this match, I thought it was an odd pairing from the young lion and veteran perspective to put Ishii with Lube. So I was like, this is strange, but okay, we'll go with it, or whatever the case is. And obviously, I don't know too much about the Noah contingent, so I was like, all right, let's see what this develops. And yet again, another one of those matches that these guys took personally, and they were out there just slapping meat, and it was and it was loud, and they were proud to represent their particular companies and stuff like that. The angle to end the show where they took the brawl to the back, and I said to myself, where are we going with this show for tonight? I was like, is everything gonna end like, I was like, for it to end the second match like that, I was like, oh, there's a lot more to come tonight, isn't there? And so, thanks to Ishii for setting it off for the entire company the way that he did, even though the team got the loss. But we New Japan had to go ahead and make sure that people understood that they weren't there playing around and stuff like that. They wasn't pussyfooting around, so they had to make sure people took them seriously and whatnot. So that's how it went down, and 2.5 stars I think is a fair rating for this particular match, obviously, because it was the second opener. But I said to myself, just between the first two matches, I was like, all right, what's gonna happen here, folks? Can we calm down? It's just a wrestling show.
Setting the tone. That's what the pre-show should do, is set the tone, and that's what it did here at Wrestle Kingdom 17 in Yokohama. To start off the main show, New Japan and Pro Wrestling Noah did a very touching thing in tributing the late great Jay Briscoe, who passed away last week. They did a tribute ceremony where Hiroshi Tanahashi had a picture of Jay Briscoe during his time in New Japan, while Naramichi Marufuji had a picture of Jay Briscoe during his time in Pro Wrestling Noah, both holding the portraits. They had folks, roster members from both New Japan and Pro Wrestling Noah outside the ring to pay tribute, and they also performed a 10-bell salute in honor of Jay Briscoe. As someone that I know, you've been to Ring of Honor events, you've seen Jay Briscoe in New Japan. What was your thoughts? This is the first time I'm able to get you, to talk about the loss of Jay Briscoe last week.
Bro, like a lot of the time when tragedies like this happen, it's obviously going to just catch you off guard. And that particular day, I hadn't been on any socials. I wasn't online or whatever have you. And I had a friend of mine, she texts me and she goes, "Hey, did you hear about Jay Briscoe?" And I was like, what do you mean? What happened with Jay Briscoe? Like, they were just in this great ass match not too long ago. I thought that we were fitting to probably see them in an AEW ring sooner rather than later, or whatever. And she passed me the news video from the local affiliates out in Delaware, and I was like, what? No freaking way. Not this. No, I was taken aback, man, because as you were saying before, we've been to plenty of ROH shows, and like, to know that the man that me and that man were born in the same year, and his life was taken away in an accident like this, it's tragic, man. And it was sad, and I felt bad, and I was like, he's got these kids, he's such a good family, it's always been talked about, he's such a good family man, and knowing that one of his daughters was also in the accident as well.
Two of his
It was
daughters,
just,
both of his
oh,
daughters,
there you go.
9-year-old
Yeah.
and 12-year-old, Jaylee and
Mhm.
Gracie, who thankfully Ashley Pugh, Jay's wife, put up a picture of them in the hospital looking a lot better. I believe Gracie or Jaylee is now having, you know, feeling in her legs again. So
That's great.
they're on the mend, but just a crazy shock. And you know, I thought about a lot of my friends like yourself, and if you were wondering what that random text was of me just asking how you doing, that was
Oh yeah,
after
man.
the
It
whole
was,
Jay Briscoe thing. I hit up a lot of my friends like, I haven't talked to you in a few days, how you doing? Like, I didn't even want to bring up the Jay Briscoe thing, I just wanted to check all my friends.
yeah, man. It was, it's such, yeah. Sometimes you just don't have words for it. You know what I'm saying? It's such a hard thing to deal with. No, you know, no matter if you know somebody personally or not, we've been exposed to him for 2 decades. You know what I'm saying? And to understand what he's done in his career, the way he puts his body on the line, and just for our source of favorite entertainment and stuff like that, and always knowing that he was very well respected and very cared for in the locker room and stuff like that. And you know, I just thought that they were gonna, you know, to me it was like a matter of time before we saw the Briscoes on a national stage and finally get their due. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna have to, you know, settle in with what it is that we got when we got some really great stuff, and just send out well wishes and positive energy to his family. And yeah, man, it was just sad, brother. It was just something that hit me, because the last time I saw Jay Briscoe, I was front row at an ROH show, banging against that damn railing, you know, clapping it up, talking about them boys, you know, because it was one of those types of matches, man. And anytime I ever hear
Remember,
the,
we were there live. Oh, you were with us for the GCW event? I
yeah,
went
I was,
the
I was,
GCW
yeah.
event. They were
Mhm.
in the main event against
Mhm.
Hate Club, and
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
how
man.
that.
I tell people all the time, and I was like, you know, there's certain phrases that might trigger a certain reaction, and anytime now that I hear buckshots and reach for the sky, boys, I was like, man, that's, you know, it's just, that's gonna stick in my mind, and the tributes along all of pro wrestling throughout the week, very touching. And yeah, man, there's just a sad, tragic day, and it's still it's still heavy, bro, because it's like, you know, such a young guy, and like I said, dedicated family man. Is you just feel bad at the end of the day. So that's really what it is for me.
Never like to, you know, see that kind of loss in the wrestling community. And I've said multiple times on videos here on the channel, this is probably the hardest I ever took at wrestlers' death, because I felt like I knew them and knew the family. So I do give it up to New Japan and Noah for doing that tribute to start off the show. And then it went into the opening matchup on the main card for Wrestle Kingdom 17 in Yokohama, which was a 4-on-4 8-man tag. Hiroshi Tanahashi teaming with Toriano and Satoshi Kojima and Takayashi Saguro, who are the GAC tag team heavyweight tag team champions for Noah, and they went against a Bullet Club / Marufuji team of Narumichi Marufuji teaming up with Kenta, El Phantasmo, and Gato. The story of the match was really about this heel team, this Bullet Club team, which Marufuji was not with the Bullet Club fuckery on this
Yeah,
night.
no,
He
no, no, it was not with the antics.
did not give him the too sweet to start the match, and throughout the match, they were always looking for him to do a little bit of the cheating, do a little bit of the double teaming and stuff. He was not with any of it, and how the match ended was them once again trying to look for the too sweet, with Kenta kind of being upset with him, because he's like, man, I brought you into the fold. We're longtime tag team partners. Just give us the damn too sweet, and it looks like Marufuji was about to relent and give the too sweet when our boy Yano was doing Yano things, bumps Kenta and Gato into the referee, and Marufuji delivers the low blow to Kenta and Gato at the same time, and then pulls off the roll up for the win here, giving the win to Yano, Tanahashi, Segura, and Kojima. Mariken was not in a good mood after this match, with Kenta once again saying, "Why you just couldn't give us the damn too sweet?" But this was a fun little opener here. I gave it 2 3/4 stars. What did you think?
Man, it's such an interesting dynamic to see the semi-comedy wrestler that Kenta has become in the last year to 2 years. It's always fun because it's always as our UK brethren like to say, it's very cheeky, everything that he does and things of that nature. So that's always entertaining. Yano being Yano is always something that you welcome in any New Japan match, to be quite honest, because if it doesn't happen, if it doesn't go down, it's just not a New Japan show. You know what I'm saying? Tanahashi doing Tanahashi things, being in a bunch of tag matches nowadays, you know, as the singles career winds down. Anytime you get to see Marufuji in the match is excellent, just because a lot like BXB Hulk, Marufuji's one of those guys that I didn't get to see in their prime. And you always heard these great things about the innovation and the matches that they had and things of that nature. So getting to see them now, guys like Marufuji now later on in their careers still doing their thing, is always a treat to see. Him not wanting to be a part of the Bullet Club fuckery, that was aces for me, just because he's never needed a faction at the end of the day. So you know, I always felt like he was forced into stuff. So it was like, just because you're a Japanese wrestler, you have to be part of a faction. It's like, well, he doesn't need it, but it is what it is. But the way that the match ended up seemed about right, you know, from a booking perspective. You know, we're gonna get more of the Tanahashi and Kenta angle going forward, from subsequent shows that have happened since that Wrestle Kingdom 17 Night 2 show. So we got a little precursor there. So overall, you know, typical 8-man tag that you would get in most New Japan shows. So nothing too crazy here. But the antics were really what really spiced up and made the match entertaining.
Yeah, I would say out of like the multi-man matches that we had on this night, this was a little bit different from everybody else because they also mixed in Noah with New Japan in this one, with, you know, one Noah wrestler on each team. And basically this one, and if you don't consider Kojima a Noah performer, even though he had more Noah matches last year than he had New Japan matches in 2022. But next up, we had our first singles match of the night for Wrestle Kingdom 17 Night 2. You had NJPW's own El Desperado versus Pro Wrestling Noah's Yohei. Yohei pulled out a bunch of high-flying moves. He's a representative of their junior heavyweight division, but he is facing one of the stalwarts of NJPW's junior heavyweight division, and arguably one of their most popular stars overall in New Japan. El Desperado pulling out the win with numero dos, who even my missus said, of course he's going to tap out. He's getting stretched in every way possible here, with the leg being trapped, with both arms being trapped. El Desperado pulling out the win here. I gave the match 2.5 stars. I didn't think it was as good as I thought it should have been, mainly because I don't know, the chemistry wasn't there instantly, and it kind of developed as the match was on. Had a good finish, but the match overall wasn't as strong as I thought it would be. What did you think?
Well, I mean, for a match that only went 10 minutes, be it that it is a Super Junior match, I thought that they didn't give them enough time, because when you be it that it is TV wrestling, right? You have a certain block of time, and when it's two competitors that have never faced off against each other before, the feel out process does take a couple of minutes. So if the feel out process is going to take half the damn match, it's like, well, what are we doing? We got to rush the rest of it now, you know? So it just for that to happen, and understanding who Despy is to us, right? Because we all know we love Despy over here. I wanted to see what this kid Yohei had lined up for us. No doubt, some couple of moves here and there, whatever the case is. But can you be in the ring with a man who emotionally gets us invested in all these matches? And we didn't get the time, bro. Emotional builds take time. You know what I'm saying? So 10 minutes wasn't enough for this. I think 2.5 stars is. I think you went a little bit more than fair for this year. This particular match did not live up at all. So I think they should have a round 2. To be honest, man, and I thought about, and I doubt that New Japan and NOAH would ever do this, but dude, just do they had a, what was it? It was a 4-lane bracket this year for the Super Juniors, whatever the case is. Or was that the G1? The G1 went
that was the 4 lanes for G1. But I mean, if you're asking about the best of Super Juniors, I think it's a good time to bring up the fact that Hiromu Takahashi has been bringing up an idea about, you know, bringing all these different promotions together and having the best of the best juniors going at it. And they did announce today, this morning, that there will be an All-Star Junior Festival 2023 in Corgan Hall on March 1st, featuring stars and junior heavyweight wrestlers from 2A1, 6 Pro Wrestling, All Japan Pro Wrestling, Big Japan Pro Wrestling, CMLL, DDT Pro Wrestling, Dragon Gate, Tradition, Ganburi, Gleet, Just Tap Out, Kalushi, Michinoku Pro Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Osaka Pro Wrestling, Pancrase Mission, Pro Wrestling Basaro, Pro Wrestling Freedoms, Pro Wrestling Noah, Pro Wrestling Secret Base, Pro Wrestling 01, and Ryaki Dragon Pro Wrestling, all coming together on March 1st. J-News.
There it is. There it is. News I had just got informed of. Exactly what I was thinking about. Get these people together on one show. So if it's an all-star super show, for all intents and purposes, they gotta do the damn thing, man. They can't just, you know, pick, you know, depending as to how long they're gonna air the show for, or how long the show's gonna be. You got to give these guys time for the feel out process. These 10-minute matches are just not gonna cut it. So maybe 15, an extra 5 minutes makes a difference in a wrestling match, folks. Believe it or not. So I think that'll be fair. But that's cool, man. That's what's up. We've been, I mean, how long has it been?
Lineup. I mean, New Japan is cooking right now in 2023. We had a classic Wrestle Kingdom to start the show. Spoiler alert, I thought this show was really good that we're talking about right now. New Beginning was fine for the start of the New Beginning tour. You got the big Kenji Muda grand finale featuring New Japan stars. Then you got Fantastica Media, which you love. But before that, we got this junior festival. So a lot of big things in the first 3 months of the year from New Japan.
Yeah, man. I think they've seen the light where it, you know, collaboration can help. And you know, I think that them doing the Forbidden Door show with AEW was a gateway for them to be able to do these shows, because they've been so individualistic. Their 50 years of existence, you know what I'm saying? It's never really panned out to just do shows versus Noah or an all Japan show, or, you know, they've never done anything with DDT, and it's like, why not? You know, so it's like, let's get this going, guys. So I think this is a good step in the right direction.
Good omen for 2023 for sure. And you said, you know, the guys Yohei and El Desperado didn't have a lot of time to deliver a good match. These 6 guys got less time, but I feel like this match was so much better than the match before it. I'm talking about the third match on the main card, which was Pro Wrestling Noah's junior heavyweight champion Amakusa teaming up with Junta Miyawaki and Alejandro versus the New Japan team of Tiger Mask, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Master Wato. They just went out there. This was fast paced. They had a bunch of dives. Amakusa is is quite the talent, and he's had 2 really good matches to start off 2023, and he represented Pro Wrestling Noah well, getting the win with Miyawaki and Alejandra. We had Miyawaki and Master Wado going face to face during the post match of this encounter here, and Master Wado, once again, he was a standout in this matchup. Makusi getting the win over Tiger Mask, who got a flurry of offense towards the end, but the GAC Junior Heavyweight Champion getting the win in this one. And speaking of Hiromu Takahashi, Amakusi made a challenge to Hiromu Takahashi, which was accepted, and the match is official for Kenji Muda's grand finale on February 21st. You're going to have IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion versus GAC Junior Heavyweight Champion. This was the junior heavyweight type of matchup that I expected from El Desperado and Yohei, so I gave this one 3.5 stars. What did you think?
Well, I think that from the perspective of styles, right? Like you said, fast-paced, high-paced, high-flying stuff. Being that the Noah faction was built more for run, and a lot of what New Japan does is they'll slow the pace down, get the crowd invested for the emotionality of it. As you know, they'll give us the fast-paced stuff too, but Despy specifically is that wrestler who has to have the fans invested emotionally in what it is that he's doing. So those different types of styles, they lend for different types of crowd reactions, right? Just to leave that out there. So that's why I think that this match planted better than the previous match, just because the styles just made it easier for this particular match, the multi-man match and whatnot. I think that the young man who is the GHC's the junior heavyweight, Amakusa, he was impressive to me. Him challenging Hiromu. I mean, come on, bro. I don't know where you're going with this. This brother SP3 converted me to a Hiromu fan years ago. Like, this is just not. No, sir. I don't know what you're thinking, man. But I hope to see a great match at the Bye Bye show, because that's what it is. It's another Bye Bye show. Yeah, man. I mean, the high speed action is always cool. It's always interesting to see the lucha influenced Japanese wrestlers, right? Because it's like, how much time did they really spend in Mexico? Did they spend time in Mexico? Is this just a gimmick? I don't know what's going on here. So it's like, but Alejandro, he was interesting to see the get up, and I was like, oh, this is reminiscent of like Flamita and like freaking Fuego. And I'm like,
he reminds me, as far as like his attire and everything, of Dragon Kid.
Yeah,
Dragon Kid from Dragon Kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It was. It's always interesting to see the bright ass colors and the pseudo full body suits and all that crazy stuff. So it's like, it was cool. So I usually with shows like this is just the introduction to new guys and to see how they move and to see how they go about their business is always cool. So that's why I thought that I agree with you. I thought this match was better than the previous match. And there's never anything wrong with go, move, just because you don't have any emotional attachment to what's going on. So.
It's just wow, pop. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's all you need. Killer and no filler.
Filler. There you go.
But it's about that time. We got to talk about this one. We got to talk about this one, as it was tag team action, Pro Wrestling Noah versus NJPW, with the GAC heavyweight champion Kaito Kiyomiya versus Yoshige Inamaru. That was his tag team partner, Inamaru, versus New Japan Pro Wrestling's own IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada and Toga Makabe. Man, oh man, let's just get into what happened here. Kiyomiya basically calls out Okada to start the matchup because of what happened last year at Wrestle Kingdom 16 Night 2, when Okada pinned Kiyomiya in a tag team match when he teamed up with Kenji Muda and Okada teamed up with Tanahashi. Okada not only beat him, he talked trash and talked down to him after the match, and Kiyomiya basically saved that in his memories museum. So to start off this matchup, he called out Okada to face him and start off the match with him, and Okada turned him down. Okada turned his back to him, walked out of the ring, did not want to deal with him. Then he tags in, he goes after Inamaru, he puts him in a chin lock, and Kiyomiya comes into the ring, stomps at Okada's back twice, and Okada no-sells it. So Kiyomiya says, oh, well, fuck this. I'm going to kick you right in the freaking head, and bust his Okada open, potatoes him, and causes a big freaking bump on his head, and blood starts to trickle, and Okada is not with the shits. He immediately attacks Kiyomiya on the apron. He goes down to the floor, starts grounding and pounding on Kiyomiya. Kiyomiya fights back, but Okada immediately comes back, throws him into the commentary area, breaking the monitors of Kevin Kelly and Chris Carlton, throwing one of the monitors at Kiyomiya. Kiyomiya comes back with a furious drop kick right to the fucking head of Okada, gives him a German suplex, then tries to punt his head into the second row, starts laying down fists on Okada. These two men have to be separated by Toga and Maccabee and Inamaru. Officials then come out when eventually, after Kevin Kelly pleads with the referee for about 3 minutes to end this matchup because it needs to be thrown out because these guys are going wild. He eventually rings the bell. More young lions and officials come out to separate the two. Kiyomiya gets on the mic and challenges Okada to verse him in a singles match. Okada is smiling and not with the shits though. He comes right back at him and they start brawling again. Another pull apart brawl between the two men. We got footage from backstage when Okada went backstage. He broke a camera of a cameraman because he was so pissed. No one potatoes Kazuchika Okada. Do not kick Okada in the face or you're gonna get this type of reaction. My oh my, this is the most furious and fiery we have seen Okada in well over a decade. This is the biggest change to Okada that we have seen since Balloon Okada after he lost the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And I put it on Twitter, J-News, because you know me and you this year started off, we did the review over on Patreon for Great Muta versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I went back and actually watched a lot of Pro Wrestling Noah show from New Year. The best match on that show was actually Kiyomiya versus Keno for the GAC Heavyweight Championship. And ever since I saw Kiyomiya last year at Wrestle Kingdom 16, I've said that he's kind of like Okada from 10 years ago. He's like Okada just starting out in a lot of ways. His look, his how he presents himself in the ring, that confidence for a young man. He's about 10 years the younger than Okada too. So it just makes sense in a lot of ways. And I felt like I made this happen. I thought this into fruition. And now we have the matches set up of Kiyomiya versus Okada on February 21st at Kenji Muta's grand finale in the Tokyo Dome. Okada has gone on record and said he did not agree to this, that New Japan agreed to this, that this match is beneath him because he does not fuck with Kiyomiya at all. I love this feud. I love this angle. This is the best angle New Japan has done in well over a decade. What did you think?
One, I can't disagree with you. Two, I usually save my wrestling commentary for when I'm on screen and I'm on the shows with SP3. I never usually text out, yo, did you watch this? And I text SP3 immediately. My words to him were, what the fuck was going on with Okada during this show? I couldn't believe what I was watching. I couldn't believe what had went down. And when I looked at Okada's face through the video clip and he had that nasty knot on his forehead and he had been bleeding, I said to myself, who did this? Why did this happen? And then when I finally realized that Kiyomiya was the antagonist in all this, and he potatoed. Who potatoes Okada? And I was like, who does that? This kid's got some balls, to say the least. Look, I told SP3 and I was like, I don't know if this is a work shoot or not. I can give a shit less right now, but this is it. This is it. This right here, man. They need to put this on a frontline show. Obviously, the Muda retirement show is a frontline show for them. Another New Japan Noah a collaboration show here. Man, I just what the slaps, the like he had him on the ground and pound, and then Kiyomiya with the flying drop kick. I was like, whoa, and he hit him in the face. I was like, what's going on? Like to me, it was like this is so real that I have a feeling that however this ends up one-on-one, someone's gonna bleed, someone's gonna get put through a table, someone's gonna get choked with camera cable. This is gonna be a Suzuki type match between two non-Suzuki type wrestlers, and we're gonna see everything taken out here. We're gonna probably see the classic Okada spot of Okada doing the high cross body over the guardrail. We're gonna see all that. We're gonna see all that. That's definitely gonna go down.
A slapping ground and pound. That's what I want more of. I want that slapping ground and pound. This was just frenetic. Just how crazy
man.
This brawl was. It was like, and everybody was talking about it on social media. Like immediately, as soon as I went on social media Saturday morning, that's what everyone was talking about.
It was, dude, for that to happen, right? For those moments to take over the wrestling zeitgeist, right? Because Japanese moments, they last for like a fleeting bit, right? But for that to take over like for the day, I was like, yes, they did something right here. This is a good step in the right direction to get New Japan back to where they were a few years ago. Even getting a little bit of some flow for the guys from NOAH, who are lesser known. So this to me, if this match goes off the way it should, we've got some great Japanese pro wrestling that'll be taking place, and a lot of people in the States are going to be super interested as to what's happening because we like violence over here. We're like the old school Romans. Die. I
think because this is gonna be in the Tokyo Dome, this matchup, yeah. I feel this might be the only thing in plain view that might compete with Ospreay and Omega for match of the year. I think I might finally rate another match 5 stars if this match delivers the type of energy and just epicness that this brawl had. If they could capture that in the Tokyo Dome in this one-on-one matchup that a lot of people didn't think was happened. This is just it's getting me excited.
Man. For sure.
This was the thing that really drove my excitement for the Kenji Muda grand finale was the announcement of Kiyomiya versus Okada.
You know, I think the added flavor of Okada's disrespect, not just for Kiyomiya, but for Noah in general, right? It's like, bro, like take it easy. You know, you're champ over here. You don't have to disrespect everybody just to get the point across. You out here spit. It's like he's metaphorically spitting on these guys because he just doesn't want anything to do with them. He's beneath them. I'm like, come on, bro. Like for all intents and purposes, even though Takeshita's now with freaking AEW, imagine a match versus Takeshita and fucking Okada, dude. What? Those sorts of things you would always want to see all the other Japanese companies work together because it's like they have some great talent across the board here. And to finally get Kiyomiya versus Okada, it's like, okay, give me that violence, give me that for 60 minutes and take it home. You know what I'm saying? Take it home. So that to me, man, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. I told SP3 last night. We doing the what the hell was it? We're going to be doing the live stream for this, right? No, there's no next day show. We're gonna be watching this at the crack of dawn, and it's gonna be me, SP3, and probably Romeo, and we're just gonna be freaking pissing our freaking brains out watching this match at this show just for the sake of it.
I'm ready. Kiyomiya,
Yeah.
Okada, inject that into my veins and I'll live forever.
Right.
So after this brawl, the inevitable, the the sad task of following this was
Yeah, I know, right?
on the start of the LIJ versus Kongo best of 5 series, which started off with Tadazuki. Is it? Am I saying that right? Tadazuki.
Tadasuke.
Tadasuke
Mhm.
versus LIJ's own Bushi. So Tadazuki representing Kongo. He came off, and I did agree with Kelly. He comes off like a Japanese Larry Sweetney. He's very cocky. He does the "come on, baby" at one point. I was like, I like this guy's attitude. He got me with charisma. In the end, it was Bushi trying to pay tribute to one of his mentors, Kenji Muda, the great Muda, with the mist to the eyes of Tadazuki. But Tadazuki, Bushi rolls him up, but Tadazuki's able to reverse and get the crucifix pin for the win. This one ending in just over 11 minutes. I thought it was a really well told matchup with both guys working well with one another. Like I said, I really like Tadazuki here, so I gave it 3.5 stars. What was your thoughts?
Tadazuki. Tadazuki came out here, and this is going to show my age a little bit. Tadazuki came out here, glasses, robe, and everything else in between. And I was like, man, what this man looking like Buddy Landell out here? Like he out here shredded stuff, looking like he can only look. And I was like, man, this is something. Because the presentation is key for me when it comes to specific wrestlers. Because it's like Japanese wrestlers are known for these elaborate robes and jackets and stuff like that, or whatever the case is. But when you come out like that, blonde hair, glasses, this robe, and I was like, Nature Boy, Buddy Landell, you got them all, baby. You got them all. This matter. I was like, what Bushi got for this man? What Bushi got for this man? We know Bushi. We know what Bushi's here for. He takes the pin at every occasion. He worked well. It was a good match for Bushi. You know what I'm saying? Got the missed out. Always the missed spots are always welcome, especially for me. But he still lost. How do you lose and you hit the missed spot? Come on, man.
Right
What are you
after
doing, bro?
too. This man couldn't even see. He just felt his way to victory. How did he feel his way to victory here?
Bushi always dropping the ball, man. But we, as the LIJ member that people least respect, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But it was well put together though. It was well put together.
He's
so
always the bottom of the barrel when it comes to LIJ. That's why he had the first match here. But we also had some other junior heavyweights from LIJ and Kongo going at it as they had Ohora. I'm going to try to say his first name here. Give me a second. Hajime Ohora versus the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion from LIJ, Hiromu Takahashi. And Ohora definitely dominated this matchup. He attacked the back of Hiromu Takahashi, which back and neck is always the weakness for Hiromu in a lot of ways. And it showed in this one here. Ohara had a focus attack, getting submissions and various moves. Then he went after the neck with this furious drop. I'm so happy that Hiromu tucked his neck because it looked at one moment his head was about to hit the mat, and I got flashbacks of San Francisco in 2018. But Hiromu made his comeback, his always fiery comeback, hitting the super kicks, hitting the victory royal, and then eventually dropping Ohara after he tried to fight the time bomb 2 off, but Hiromu was able to hit it and get the win to even the series up at 1-1. This is another match I gave 3.5 stars. I thought Ohara was very impressive my first time watching him, and I loved Hiromu fighting from underneath. It had a different dynamic from all the other matches in the series and on the night.
Yeah, man. Look, listen, ain't nothing ever wrong with a Hiromu Takahashi match. Unless he wants to freaking mail it in, which he never does. No. It's always gonna come off in a good way. He's always best fighting from under. He's like Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson at the end of the day. He's always best for fighting from under, unless you need Bryan Danielson to fuck someone up at the end of the day. So, but he's always best fighting from under, which is what this match did for Hiromu. and stuff like that, and him being able to hit time bomb 2 with O'Hara trying to fight out of it that much, I was like, okay, we've got something here. This isn't over. This isn't over. This is not going to be their last match. So I think that being that Hiromu got the win here, we'll see more. This is definitely long-term storytelling between Noah and New Japan for as long as they want to keep their relationship going. So we'll see more of this in the future years to come. So
we shall see.
We shall see how this breaks that.
Next, we had the third match in this best of 5 series. This time, you had your boy from LIJ, Sanada, going one-on-one with Kongo's own Manupo Soya, who is the former tag team partner in All Japan Pro Wrestling of Sanada. And this match kind of started off a little bit sluggish, in my opinion, and honestly, it never recovered. It came all sluggish the entire matchup here. Soya got the win with the big old lariat, his second lariat after getting a near fall with it, got his feet under him and hit the big lariat in just under 14 minutes to get the win here. I gave this 2 3/4 stars. This was a little bit underneath the rest of the matches in this best of 5 series.
Yeah, man, I ain't with the shits, bro. I don't know what they're trying to do to my boy. I don't know what they're trying to do with my boy, man. This ain't right. This ain't right. How you putting it? I've always said styles make fights. What is this? What was this? Why are you trying to do Sonata like this, Kaito? I don't know who the booker over at freaking Noah is. I don't care, man. This ain't even right, bro. This ain't even right. How you trying to do Sonata like this? I ain't with the shits. I ain't with the shits. I was like, if you wanted to give us a good match, at least of something that would give us a little bit of a what does Daddy say? Some taste, right? A little bit of taste.
Taste. Give it a taste.
I would have probably wanted to see something like Sonata versus. Give me Sonata versus Marufuji for all I care. At the end of the day, I would have taken a Sonata loss versus Marufuji way easier than this, or whatever the case is. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this at all, man. I don't know what Sonata's gonna do. LIJ, man, y'all need to do something for my boy. I don't know what's going on.
It's about time he just turns on LIJ, because he's legitimately the bottom of the barrel when it comes to heavyweights in LIJ. He's not as over as Hiromu Takahashi. He should just be thankful that Bushi is still with LIJ, or he would be the worst member.
Wow, son. That's a lot coming from you, man.
I mean, are we trying to say that he's better than Shingo or Hiromu?
No. Look,
he's not better than Naito either. So
my whole thing about it has always been that they gave him the opportunity to get over with the fans, and when he finally did it, they cut his legs from under him. And I was like, what? Come on, guys. What are we doing? I didn't ask for him to be the freaking IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, but give him something. You gave him nothing.
Hey, they tried though. They tried. Let's go to the next match, the semi-main event, the fourth match of the best of 5 series, and this was the one I was probably looking forward to the most. As you had LIJ's own Shingo Takagi, the King of Pro Wrestling 2023 champion, versus Noah and Kongo's Katsushoki Nakajima. I just call him Nakajima. Shingo. These guys are two of the best when it comes to Noah and New Japan, and this one delivered. It delivered all the goods you would expect. Nakajima laying in those kicks and those hard strikes. Man, the kicks, he was just reverberating across the Yokohama Arena, and just Shingo having to fight from underneath in this one, fight back against Nakajima, who was really kind of overwhelming him with his hard strikes and hard kicks. Eventually, Shingo was able to pull out the pumping bomber for a close near fall, and then eventually picking up the win with the last of the dragon. One of my favorite sequences in the match was how Shingo got into Made in Japan, where he just kept, Nakajima just kept kicking him. Yeah. He catches the kick, then he catches his other arm, then he's just hitting him with elbows, and then eventually on like the third elbow, he catches that elbow and then hits the Made in Japan. I was like, yo, that was a great sequence. These guys showed up. 18 minutes, 28 seconds was this match. I gave it 4 1/4 stars. stars, the highest rated match that I gave so far on the show. What did you think?
This was strong style. This is exactly what I expected it to be. Strong style personified. These gentlemen did not let me down at all. I thought at one point that, for all intents and purposes, you guys know how much of a fan of Shingo I am. I thought at one point Shingo ain't got no shot. He got no shot in this match. He just got no shot. Like, what are we doing? This dude's lacing him with kicks that you can hear from freaking Yokohama to freaking Okada, which is it's quite the distance, folks. If you didn't know anything geographically in Japan, what the hell, bro? I had never heard or seen Shingo take hits like that, dude. Even the forearms, I was like, what is going on? He's getting his ass beat. And
there was a couple of times he was like knock him silly, and Shingo
Yeah.
would just be knocked out, and the referee would start trying to see if he was going to be TKO'd. Man, like Nakajima, this man don't play. I remember him in the G1 a couple of years ago, but he's improved even more.
Yeah, man, definitely. And I think that this match sold the Noah versus New Japan aspect of this so much, because it's like they were really trying to one up each other, and strong style was on the side of Noah for the majority of this match, but Shingo was able to pull out the result. But he got away with the skin of his teeth on that one, son. I'll say that.
Yes, give me that again. Run that back, please. Put Nakajima back in the G1, I say. But that brought it all. It was all tied up, not only with the best of 5 series between Los Ingobernables de Japón and Kongo. It was all tied up in regards to Noah versus New Japan as we went into the main event of Wrestle Kingdom 17 Night 2 in Yokohama. It was Keno, the leader of Kongo, versus the leader of LIJ, Tetsuya Naito. These two men, once again, this was another strong style special, and these two guys just going at it, battering each other. But Keno really dominated a large portion of this matchup, just with even just playing up and knowing Naito's offense. Like when Naito does the run at the ropes, like he's gonna fake to do a dive, and then he does the Ingobernables pose, Keno immediately gets into the ring and double stomps his ass. Like it was cool how Keno knew a lot of the moves that Naito was gonna do. Naito having to pull out some Stardust Genius stuff with a Hurricane Rata off the top rope, the strike exchange when they're coming at each other hard. And then really I love the call of Kevin Kelly in this one, where Naito went into G1 mode, where he goes into autopilot when he hears that 20-minute and 25-minute call, and he just starts battering the neck with the elbows and looking for Destino constantly. And eventually he was able to hit it on Keno to get the win in just under 27 minutes. Tetsuya Naito getting the win for not just Los Ingobernables de Japón winning the best of 5 series 3-2, but to give NJPW the win here in Yokohama with New Japan versus Noah. And then the cherry on top was the post-match with Naito, ending off the night, saying, the roll call for LIJ, and then having a little stare down with Kenji Muda, and Kenji Muda deciding at that moment he had found his opponent for his final matchup as Kenji Muda, his final match period in 2023 in the Tokyo Dome. We'll just say that. We don't know if it's going to be his final match completely, but the big Tokyo Dome show, Kenji Muda's grand finale, it's now going to be Naito versus Muta. Man, what a way to close off the show. Love Keno's Naito. I gave this match also 4 1/4 stars. I thought Keno really showed out in this big opportunity for himself, and Naito kind of tapping into pride to get the win here. And then the post match with Kenji Muda, perfect on top of that. What did you think about this main event?
Destino is all I can really say at the end of the day. He pulled it out, because that's what he does. He pulled it out and he made it happen. Keno showed me something here, man. I didn't necessarily feel that I would see such domination in matches from the Noah contingent, right? But I think from an overall wrestling perspective, the show did what it was supposed to do, which was get the NOAH guys over to a specific degree, even though you still got the results of New Japan Pro Wrestling being the higher caliber or the winners, right? In whatever regard. But this match shows that these guys can all hang with these matches show that these guys can all hang with one another. Not one promotion is better than the other. I would say in that particular regard, these guys should give us more. I want more of these matches. I want more LIJ versus Kongo. I want more of these of Okada slapping the taste out of some men's mouths, because that's what we need. We need the fire. We need the passion. We need New Japan to have a more direct line of personality as a wrestling organization, outside of the more it's strong style. We respect New Japan. People go to Japan for the sake of elevating their craft and things of that nature, whatever the case is. Nah, man, we got to give New Japan a better line now. We got to give them a different line now. And I think that this show was able to give us a little bit of that. Not saying that they're going full tilt in one direction, but I think that New Japan's kind of, at least trying to create a different narrative now after the first 50 years of what New Japan is going to be. So looking forward to it. But as for the match, man, Naito never disappoints, brother. He just doesn't. My first time actually seeing Keno in a one-on-one, wasn't necessarily aware of his skill set and his ability to do what he does. And
he's another guy that just kicks the shit out of you. His kicks are stiff as hell.
Yeah, man. And his ability to telegraph a lot of Naito's movements in this match, I was like, oh, he be watching these matches. He be watching Naito. This is no joke. Like, this man does his homework, and that much you saw. So I think that this match definitely delivered, and they did something for the Japanese wrestling fan and for the wrestling fan in general who was able to watch the show. Definitely gave us a really, really good show. Noah versus New Japan here. Naito getting the win here. Now I gotta talk about this. Keiji Muto versus Naito retirement match. I didn't necessarily figure for it to go this way, right? But I'm here for it. Obviously, I'm gonna be watching this. It's interesting. We'll see how it goes down. I still have the thoughts and the remnants of the Great Muta versus Shinsuke Nakamura match in my head. This will be the Keiji Muto iteration of it versus Naito here. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully everything goes well, and things pop off in the right way during this show. But definitely an excellent match between the two competitors, Keno and Naito. Like I said, give me more, man. Give me more of this, because once products tend to go stale, we want to just see something different, and this is something different, right? So, not saying that New Japan was stale, but seeing them in different lanes and different avenues is always a positive and a good thing. So, yeah, man, definitely a good show overall, I would say. And the main event didn't disappoint.
Yes, indeed. Overall, let's put our thumbs in the middle. You guys, if you're watching the live premiere, you could do it in the live chat, or let us know in the comments down below. Those always help the video. If you can let us know, thumbs up, thumbs down, out of 10, what you gave the show. Match of the night, MVP and LVP for me and J-News for Wrestle Kingdom 17, NJPW versus NOAH in Yokohama. We give this show thumbs up across the board. Out of 10, what did you give the show, J-News?
I think that for what it was, and because of what Kaz Okada did, I gave this show a 9, because the hype was real. the hype was real. So, there's just like for all intents and purposes, when you're watching a wrestling show, there are certain moments that you remember about a specific show, and you think you remember the show so in this great vein, but the show could have sucked. But for that one moment made the entire show. And for me, that moment with Okada and Kiyomiya, like, dude, 9 out of 10.
You got the Okada Kiyomiya moment. You had the 2 back-to-back bangers to end the show with Nakajima and Shingo, Naito and Keno. Some good matches with Tadazuki versus Ibushi, as well as Hiromu versus Ohara. You had that junior heavyweight 6-man tag that was really good. So I give this show 8 out of 10. So I gave Wrestle Kingdom 17 on January 4th 9 out of 10. Part 2, 8 out of 10. Not bad, not a bad sequel at all. Match of the night, J-News.
Man, match of the night. Overall match. Keno, Naito. That's my match of the night.
I'm going to go different, and I'm going to say Nakajima and Shingo. I love that match. I gave both matches 4.25, so you can't go wrong with either of those matches, but I prefer Shingo and Nakajima a little bit more. MVP for the show, I am going with Kaito Kiyomiya, because he was the antagonist that brought us a whole new Okada, so he is the MVP of the show. Who you got?
He is the MVP. That's exactly what I was going to go. It was Kiyomiya. Kiyomiya is the MVP, man. Who potatoes Okada? Kiyomiya does. Kiyomiya gave him the only knot. He made him bleed, and he went for the jumping super kick. that thing was gold. Yeah, man. Kiyomiya, so MVP.
Great. So great. And LVP, I will say Yohei, because like I said, that match with Desperado did not deliver. So that's my LVP.
Lackluster right there, man. Yohei did not live up to the hype. Maybe do better next time, Yohei. We expect better next time.
We'll expect better next time. J-News, thank you so much for joining me here for this special Wrestle Kingdom 17 Night 2 in Yokohama, NJPW versus NOAH review. Please let the people know where they can find you on social media, good sir.
You can find me on the socials, on the Instagram, ladies and gentlemen, _JONJY, where I'm there sometimes. So yeah, check me out when you can.
And you can find me on the socials at True Hill SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at True Hill Heat. If you're wondering if we're going to give you a new beginning in NOAH review, you can check out patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month, exclusive content, including more New Japan pro wrestling content. Me and J-News over there. Check it out, as well as the True Hill Heat post show. You got my Raw reports every Tuesday. Also subscribe to True Hill Heat Sports. We are just 10 subscribers away from 300 over on our sports channel. So go over and check that out as well. And check out all the great content that we got here on the channel. Yesterday, we had our drop for our True Hill Heat's top 10 best Royal Rumble matches of all time, as we kicked off the content for Royal Rumble week. Check out True Hill Heat 209 from this past Saturday, as we paid tribute to Jay Briscoe and had our first fantasy wrestling draft of 2023 with special guest, the Smart Psychologies podcast. But thank you so much to everyone who joined us for this video, whether on the premiere or watching on demand. Remember to drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here, and it helps out the video so much. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought about Okada and Kiyomiya's epic brawl, what you thought about the best of 5 series between LIJ and Kongo, what you thought about Kenji Muta's challenge to Naito. Let us know all of that in the comments down below. But for J-News, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been our NJPW Wrestle Kingdom 17 Yokohama review. We are signing off until next time.